Hey, this is another episode of Candace Michelle Views, where I give my opinion on what I am viewing on any mainstream media platform that you could think of. So today I wanted to go over Bill Cosby. I felt like it was necessary for me to make this video tonight instead of waiting this weekend. I was going to make this video last weekend. It was basically me continuing off where they rudely cut me off on my live. The angel video and the video of the father, the preacher of the father, that was talking to the kids that was playing dice. It was literally a clip. It was literally a video clip from Bill Cosby, where he was educating in some type of like a TV special, and that's where I got cut off at. So I thought that was kind of weird because I already hinted about Dick Gregory and who you may think he is, because I was going to show some clips, or I probably showed some clips, but I didn't really get to anything because I wanted to show the full video, a continuation of what I meant of who I believe Dick Gregory is, because I believe he's not a real character. He's I just thought that weird that I was going to make that video last week, and then something made me not do it last week because I was like busy and things like that. And then a lot of things occurred where I'm glad I did not make the video, because I definitely did not want to leave out this new information that they just brought out a couple days after I did the live, hinting about, Bill Cosby and who I believe is Bill Cosby is playing the role of. So the fact that he got released out of jail out of nowhere without anyone even thinking he was going to get released out of jail right before the 4th of July, and his scandal stemmed from him starting his trial or something somewhere near like the 4th of July or something like that. Like they're going to go, I'm going to show you a clip of it just to show you. I mean, if you guys don't know by now what I've been explaining and what I'm trying to explain, even with my history, this is the point of me doing the videos. I don't know what else to tell you. It's just not probably meant for you to understand, or you're probably a part of it. And I understand if you want to say you don't see it, if you're a part of it, or your family or whatever, you have some type of ties involved in these things. Or some type of part you play. So, yeah, so let's get started. Now that I gave that whole background of that, I'm like, this is weird. Some people could say this is like a telekinesis things where they're like, they seen I said some things, and then they're like throwing out these Bill Cosby and Dick Gregory things that you never like. I don't know. It was just weird. It was like literally a couple of days, and I feel like this happens to me often. And it's kind of like things that are given to me, if you could say. So yeah. So Bill Cosby, he was released from prison.
Released from prison today, after Pennsylvania's highest court overturned his sex assault conviction. Legal analyst Boris Batansky joins us with more. So Boris, we're just learning some of the details of this, and it's a bit complicated, but seems that the court has overturned his conviction based on some kind of a deal that was made years ago with the prosecutor.
Yes, it goes back to, I mean, I haven't read the full opinion that's been released today, but it dates back to a 2005 agreement that was entered into between the district attorney at the time and Mr. Cosby that effectively gave him immunity from criminal prosecution in exchange for his cooperation and willingness to testify at a deposition involving a civil suit. And of course, ultimately that deposition, after it was taken, the evidence from that became a central part of the trial.
I mean, I think they should have already known this when he did that in 2005. That's how these things are just fake, and these trials are just as fake, and these judges are just as fake, and these news reporters are just as fake as the stories that they're giving us about these fake celebrities that are real people, but they're playing multiple roles. It's not a big community. You think it's a lot, but they're really small. It's a small group of scamming people that's pretending they're important people or lineage of people, and they're not anything. They're not important. That's why they got to dress up in costumes or fake designers that they think matter, or things like that, because they have to do it because they won't be noticeable without these things. Because if you take all that away, what would they have? Nothing here, So anyway, So yeah, like Bill Cosby obviously is being played the role of Dick Gregory. They have the same exact background as all my videos are always explaining. I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to show you some clips. If you really know Bill Cosby, you're going to see it right away. If not, then maybe you need to watch some Bill Cosby shows and things like that, and then watch some Dick Gregory footage. And I don't know if Dick Gregory was an actual real person at some point. But, you know, because even when he's younger, he resembles Bill Cosby, just in mask, or other people could be playing a role. I've seen a clip of Dick Gregory when he was really old, right before he passed away, where I believe Bill Cosby wasn't playing that role. It was someone else. And it was very obvious, but I didn't get all that in there. This video will take way too long to give you every detail. I try to put as much detail as I can, and I feel like I give enough for people to comprehend where I'm going and how accurate I can say it is, but I just say it's my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so Dick Gregory, he is a comedian, activist, and one more thing, I just can't remember, an actor, I guess, a civil rights actor, comedian, and so is Bill Cosby, okay? So when after I did my video and I was hinting, I said I was going to tell you guys if you could guess after seeing the video. I did not do the video that weekend, and I ended up seeing this commercial on CNN. Sometimes I just drop in on certain things on cable here and there just to see if people are still on the channel, or if they have been deported, or who knows what kind of deals they're making when they have their day in court with their corrupt system and their fake court justice system. That's what they shut everything down for, so they can have their fake justice system of the people they actually know and who they're getting rid of and who they're keeping and whatever, because it's a different contract, a different management going to be coming in. I wish we had a say so. I doubt it. They're still lying about a lot, so I wouldn't look forward to any things that they're saying is coming to people, maybe to the same people that always been winning, I guess. And that's what they're excited about, and they're talking in code. But I'm pretty sure the same people that never win to get anything is not going to get anything out of this either. I'll just wait to see. So anyway, so I saw this commercial on CNN. Okay, I don't know why it's no sound. Maybe, yeah, I don't know why it's no sound.
When it got to that little section that said occupation, I would just write murderer.
Hoover had written, "Watch this Negro comedian Dick Gregory."
Only a fool today would sit back and blame Hitler's army and not blame Hitler.
The head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation signed a letter asking for the FBI to do an investigation of Dick Gregory.
Okay, so I was pretty now, mind you, this is who even hears about Dick Gregory? I mean, when is the last time you even heard about Dick Gregory, the mentioning Dick Gregory? Like, you hear about Richard Pryor, you hear about all kinds of comedians, but you never really hear about Dick Gregory because of what image he had. And if you see, like, he's more like a conspiracist kind of guy, but not really conspiracist, because he's stating that he knows, because he knows these people. He ran in these elite groups, so he's basically saying he's exposing the truth. But obviously, they always give you people, so the people like me or something will shut up because we think we have Dick Gregory fighting for us. So that's the kind of puppet trickery they will do with you. They'll give you a Dick Gregory, a hero, but unfortunately he is actually a puppet, and he gives off agendas as well. And I'm going to show you the signs they give and the agendas and things like that. So anyway, as you already off the bat, the name Dick Gregory, I believe the name Dick could stand for Bill, if I'm not mistaken. I know that stands for Richard, but I believe Richard could be a Bill as well. I could be incorrect, but I believe Bill is somewhere connected to Dick as well. I could be wrong in that. Just off the name alone, seems like it's connected to Bill, right? And then we're gonna get into his character.
I get $40,000, man, and I dare motherfucker. You went to college, you didn't talk what the professor was talking. Because you was apologize to me. I knew that when you come in here. I let you in because for you to spend New York time, I don't let you in. I said anybody come in here, and normally I don't do these interviews. I do the bullshit shit you want to hear, and let you leave.
Okay, I'm listening. You got me too. I'm too good.
Okay. So what was the question you just asked.
No, my question was...
Now, you heard he said that I come and I do these interviews and I say the bull ass you want to hear. You know, and he's playing, like, he'll give you some truth and then he gets all angry. He yells a lot. This is his role where he gets all hypered up. So he's playing the red, brown man, the you know, the copper, or, so, you know, the American men in the central, south, southern area. And they try to give him more fast, like this grouchy old man, you know, that knows a lot in the world, about the world. Like, so this is his image. This is his character, is a given character based off of a real person, culture, you know, and they give you this. So let's continue to watch the character, and now he's in his angry man state, like, and you're gonna just have to keep watching.
Like the videotape, the existence of the videotape was the
Black angry man, I believe.
But what
So.
sparked it was the verdict.
I know that.
Okay.
What they didn't tell you. What they didn't tell you. Just read what paper that is so you can get it.
Now he come with his receipts, just like me.
Times, May 10th, 1992.
Okay, what's the headline say?
Los Angeles police differ sharply with prosecutors.
Okay, let's skip this part. We're gonna just skim through it because he gives a lot of good information.
Now read that sentence right, but after that, and this is what Han says.
We don't know where these people are.
Wait a minute, this is what I say. We don't know where these people are.
Said James K. Hahn, the Los Angeles city attorney.
He's the mayor now. He got to pay all costs.
It's a mystery now to a lot of people in the system right now.
Okay, that's all. That's my job.
Okay.
Huh? That's my job. And I usually don't share it with people. Because like I told you before, my mama hears the shit I be saying. She called police on me. Huh? And so that's what I'm telling you. So about 6 months ago,
6 months.
I'm in L.A. and Carl Nelson, who invented
That's coding. Just to tell you these stories. When they say 6 months, 9 years, 9,000.
Milk was for humans. You don't give a kitten dog milk. I said the number one cause, the only cause of crib death is cow's milk. If you took cow's milk and breast milk from a woman and put it in a glass, you'd have to add 300 times more water with cow's milk to make it look like mother's milk. Because the number one important ingredient in milk is not calcium. You get more calcium eating a piece of newspaper. And so, cow's milk, the number one thing in milk is called casein. Casein makes the bone strong. So cows have enough casein to make the cow enough bone strength to deal with.
See the kind of character role he's playing, where he's knowledgeable of a lot of things. They study a lot of things of life, so he can understand certain
So when
stuff.
you drink cow's milk, with that casein becomes glue and shuts it down. And some folk in there, they die in the crib. They call it crib death. We don't know what causes it. That's what every nation on the planet would be stupid enough to give their child cow's milk. That would never had crib death. Only the countries in the world. Cow's milk is crib death. So I know I just put that in my file.
Yeah, you say put that in his file. Okay, let's move on to more conspiracy.
30 members from the KGB could hook up with 30 members of British intelligence, could hook up with 30 members of French intelligence and slip in this country with all the stuff we done.
Did you hear all
And how
that?
you gonna let them tell you that in 3 weeks, 65,000 little children from South America, tots can't read or write, come in this country
Can't
and
read or write. That's where slavery happened.
stealing, man. Huh? Just ask yourself a question. Huh? President say, now, all you got to do is track them. You can't track them. You have any children?
I do not, he does.
It's where they get these people from, like young pharaohs, girlfriends, or things like that. I believe they get these people, they put them in programs, communities, and they live in these communities. Where are they putting all these people at?
See something incredible. That's lighted like a Hollywood movie. Look at the movie The Pirate. Well, every pirate I've seen in the movie was white. And all of them have a patch and a peg leg. And they show this movie here, and this brother ain't got no. They won't even let you, even when you acting like what they say the pirate was. You know.
See, the pirate, the patch over the eye, is the same thing with the Spaniards, the British, Mexico, South America. It's all connected. Some people are slaves, some people are a part of the government. And they just erased us and pushed the South American, West Indian people and smushed them all on top of us, and we're clearly a whole different culture and race in the Southern American area.
5 rowboats, okay? But they gonna attack the mightiest navies in the world? Come on, y'all.
Queen England, 5 rowboats.
Are you crazy?
The biggest navy in the world, America.
Huh?
He's telling the truth.
Then almost they make a movie out of it. That's how they just keep putting it in. Then they make you think it's gonna get time. One day top actors to do it. It's bullshit.
Top actors to remake it.
One of them tankers had 100 million gallons of oil. I'm on TV doing one of them TV shows, and I said, wait a minute.
Now, if y'all not seeing that this is Bill Cosby by now, I don't know what to tell you. Look at his face. I'm gonna come in close. He has a mask on. Clearly, this area right here is masked. This beard is fake. I'm gonna show you the glue in a different video. He had glue. That's why he has this on his mouth, because
it's one of the most evil, vicious Navy bases in the history of the planet. They do stuff that would make Hitler look like Santa Claus. Diego Garcia.
So,
wait. Diego Garcia. That's where that first Malaysian plane is. That's where it landed. They had 4 scientists on it. Huh? 20 scientists, but 4.
Remember I told you I was at work and I heard the doctor say that?
I have to pause this because when I heard this part, I said, oh my God, because I used to work in a hospital in Great Neck, in Long Island. And I was happened to sitting in the lunchroom on lunch break. And I don't know, like I say, life just, I think I hear stuff through the grapevine. They just love for me to hear everything. And I'm a quiet person usually. This is the most talking I would ever do unless it's like an educational subject. I have nothing to say unless it's on topics like this, which a lot of people don't have much conversation for things like this. So I don't really say much usually when I'm out. I'm an observer when I'm quiet and I listen. When you're quiet, you hear more. If you know what I'm saying, even if things are not talking, you're here, things will come to you. So anyway, me sitting in the lunchroom, a bunch of doctors white coats were sitting not too far, literally right next to me, but not at the same table. And I literally heard their whole conversation. This is at the time when the Malaysian airline went and disappeared. They were literally talking about having a whole conversation. I heard their whole conversation clearly about a group of scientists. They didn't say 4, they said about 8 or something were on the plane that disappeared. Like it was like these important scientist people or whatever. So, you already could see what kind of games they're playing here as far as why they didn't want Malaysia to have these scientists do whatever they were doing, because these people are trying to be oil in control and have their technologies and try to make other things and try to beat other people and make bigger bombs. But anyway, let's keep going.
But they worked out
I just wanted to confirm that, like, I literally heard that information from, like, a group of doctors. So, it's something, it was definitely going on with that, because I told people when it happened, I was like, yo, they were talking, like, I heard these doctors talking about it. And anyway.
Texas Instrument. And the ones behind that plane was Texas Instrument, the government, and Boeing, who made the plane. And everybody is stupid enough to believe that a plane almost a block long can just disappear.
With a black box.
We have, all the technology
tracker.
We have.
All the
next
technology.
generation of cars will come out. There'll be no driver. with the electronics we have, all the technology we have,
Okay.
the next generation of cars will come out, there'll be no driver. So when I was talking to this scientist about it, I said,
which they already are putting commercials on for Domino's. No driver deliveries. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
well, they're paddy wagons too. He said, yeah, why you ask that? I said, well, there's just more room to put riders. He said, no, that's where we are. About 10 years ago, I was a scientist, and he said to me, he said, you know, the smart car, when it come out, there can be no more automobile fatalities. I said, why you want to mess with me, man? They been had that. Why you think airplanes don't run into one another? Huh? I used to do that when I was a child.
Negative, positive repels. Positive and positive repels. Magnets.
And don't put them right in the game. That's all.
Positive, negative, it repels. You can't come nowhere.
And this is what I'm trying to explain of why we can't have that information, why they have kept this information for this, though, selling it back to us, like, because it's obvious that the technology's been here in America. The whole Navy, everything has been based and built in America already. They don't give us the real information. Don't know why. Maybe because of the slaughter of most of the American people that was originally there. The Native Americans, I believe they killed probably 95% of them or 90% of them. So yeah, that's probably why. And they stolen everything, and then they replaced, and even not just black and white people too. They replaced white people, regular white people with Europe, all kinds of people from different areas of parts of a different world.
It's been here, okay? And so when you stop and think about, so we got 4 of those top scientists.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, that free energy.
That had
I know how to
file for patents.
some type of technique to it.
Worth $400 billion. The United States, I mean, that's a right here. And so had Obama not won, I'd still been doing it.
Okay, so this is the video I really wanted to put in. I just wanted to put in a couple videos because it was really like an extension from the history lesson. That's what I planned on doing on that Sunday, but thankfully I did wait because something made me wait for some reason, and I guess it's because they wanted me to add in all this information that they just threw out there with Dick Gregory and Bill Cosby with their documentary and Bill getting released. So I'm glad I waited, so it would be very important for me to add that in this video. So I'm glad it was added in. Anyway, so this is the video I really wanted to put in his scandal. I usually put their scandals and how they end up, showing how they're puppets, and they'll show you they're the truth and they're this and that and things that you like about them. They'll find their crowd and their people, and then, but they're puppets. So they're portraying something that they're really not. So they're going to give you these agendas because that's what they're here for. Anyway, as you can see, this is clearly a mask. This is clearly Bill Cosby. They do something where the face in the hat is kind of like everything. His whole little getup is like really structured out, where they have like the hat and the chin thing. It's very fake, and if you really pay attention throughout the time, I'm gonna try to point it out so you guys can see as I see. But this is his scandal, where he's a puppet, where he goes to say he went to file for presidency in like the year 19 something. He'll go over it. He does this same routine everywhere he went. When he started to do this run of his truth, he started to do these skits and had basically the same 2-hour stories of what he does now. So this is just like a little bit of quick view of what he does, but I recommend people to just check maybe some of his videos out if you want to do any further investigations of the conspiracies that are fact. Obviously, what we've been telling you is fake stories, fake. This is Hollywood actors and all these things, street theater. I know you guys don't believe it, but you should. It's being paid by the people from these countries that I already explained to you that are in contract. That seems like they are kind of out of contract, bankrupt, in all kinds of situations where they are scrambling and scraping. And yeah, so we're going to continue on where his scandal of him voting for presidency and him winning and not winning, let him explain it.
So a funny thing happened that night. That was 1968. All right.
1968.
November the 4th.
November the 4th, 4/11. Information.
Right.
Don't you think that's ironic that on November the 4th, that when he won the presidency by accident, which he's going to explain, by 9 million votes, that he's going to let you know. Don't you think it's weird on a date, November 4th, which is 11/4, which is like 4/11 if you look at it backwards, which gives you the number of information for what's the 411, and what you think he's over here giving you. What's his character? You see how they move? So let's keep it moving.
4 days later. You see the date on that? November what?
November 7, 1968.
In what newspaper?
Page 6 of the Wall Street Journal.
Okay, now listen to me now.
Now, this is 7/11. They reported that he won. Isn't that lucky? 7/11. Just his luck.
One of the most respected papers in the world by fools. Now, read the headline.
Most respected paper by fools. So why he care what they saying on it?
Gives Gregory 9 million votes.
Now, stop there.
9 million. Coded through the whole story. Puppet story. He go through the whole chitlin circuit and tell the same 2-hour skit. A lot of truth, but it's still a puppet show.
Election polls was closed. Should have gave me 9 million. Election center set it down and said it projected President United States is correct. Wow. That plurality cannot be overcome. Okay? This is your America. What they meant to do was plug that up to Nixon and somebody goofed.
So your vote is not a vote.
Now you hear what he's insinuating?
That's what shapeshifter means when you know who you are.
Shapeshifter.
Now, read that first paragraph.
And he's going to insinuate that he's a shapeshifter. Because Bill Cosby and these are the people that's originally from either the Britain, French, or most likely the Brazilian, South American. These are all the same group of people. The blue, he obviously is repping the blue, but the blue and red is kind of the same group. And I'm going to kind of like try to tie that in and show you what I mean, because they act like they are running against each other, but they actually work together because it's best that they work together, their best interest, even if they don't like each other, because they have to fight a greater power. So it's like enemies somewhat, but they created each other. Anyway, let's go.
Things just aren't to be believed. Take the big computer in New York that was designed to compile results of Tuesday's general election. At one point early yesterday morning, the machine was crediting Dick Gregory, the comedian turned presidential candidate, with 9 million votes in Pennsylvania.
Now, see, they don't know, and the one do know that.
In Pennsylvania, because he's from Pennsylvania, just like Bill.
No other paper. Right. You know, go ahead now, listen to it. Now, go ahead.
This was just one of the scores of inaccurate and sometimes astonishing
terms. Over there to your left, what did Walter Cronkite say up there?
CBS anchorman Walter Cronkite, after the errors were pointed out to him, apologized for not questioning the figures.
That's the bullshit that comes in. Who was he to question a damn figure?
So was the computer wrong?
So basically, he's saying...
Now, that's not making votes because they plugged it up wrong. They made a mistake and put it to my name. Okay?
He's saying they rigged it.
Instead of Nixon's name.
Okay.
They're supposed to rig it to Nixon's name, but they rigged it to his name by accident, which is not an accident. This is all a puppet show. They all know this was going to happen. So he could go on to do this. From day one, he said they've been rigging the elections.
No, man. Since day one. Come on. Before they had what they would do when I ran for mayor in Chicago.
Now, why would he run for mayor in Chicago? He's from Pennsylvania.
Came to me and offered me $500,000.
And you know who's from Chicago as well, who's the founder of Chicago, which is that Baptiste dude that these Hotep guys worship or whatever. Because this is still the French-British Parliament. If y'all think French, I think probably white, but I'm telling you, it's a creamy African. They all together, okay? Let's go.
I tell you, the white boy brother then changes.
I said, well, I got to get a petition to other people. Got that.
This is our America.
Okay.
The down payment, the trade-in, license I had to pay for. But I look at me, and I know I put more research on owning a car than creating God's new life. So who in the fuck am I? At least I get nothing out of this. I'm honest. I thank God. I know it's coming, but just let me sit up on the mountain with some binoculars and watch him.
Don't you look like Bill Cosby? Look.
Watch him. Yes. And then come on, get me, but you.
Look.
When they said I had the worst form of cancer, y'all know I had the worst form of cancer.
Of course, he got cancer as well, because it's a homage to the Cancer and the Capricorn, because we live in the Tropic of Cancer.
In the family that understand God's body.
I believe they giving people cancer. Like, I don't know what that's about. They do black magic and they do bad stuff with they do a bad mix. They do all kinds of experiments.
Every day forgiveness, man, because I had this power before I knew it. I could have killed some folks and not even know it. And that universal God, I teach this to my grandchildren. The dinosaur left this planet 2 billion years ago. You know that. There was no church. There was no Christianity. If my mother was alive and walked in here now, you think God could just spit her out? She's so precious and nice and godly. But if you tried to explain to my mother Jesus Christ wasn't a Christian, she'd stomp your ass to death. Because her ignorance didn't get her to know that Christianity never happened to 300 years after Jesus Christ was dead. Mama. I didn't learn until I was a grown man that the cross, they didn't invent that for Jesus. The Roman was using that 1,000 years before he was born. It was special. You know, they beheaded folks, hanged folks. The cross was for revolutionists.
Okay.
And so if you and your mother and your father was walking down the street, no one had no cars, none of that. Huh? You didn't travel within 6 miles from where you was born. Where were you going?
Okay.
Everything was the same. Trees, mountains.
Everything the same. Mm-hmm. Just like now, you go anywhere, it's the same old, same setup. You can find Las Vegas, you can just go to Jersey. You want to go here, the beach, you just go right there.
Oh, your mother, what's that?
Don't God travel far.
So the cross represented revolution.
People like me.
So you would never want to be a revolutionist.
Want to go against things that they don't want you to go
story
against.
Is, Jesus was a revolutionist. What was them two thieves doing up there?
Well, not necessarily me, but you know what I'm saying. Because I'm not really a revolutionist. There's more people that needed to revolution. I don't have to revolute, but I know what he's stating. With the generation
that's not going to listen to what
being
we
a
were
revolution
told.
to north, southwest, east.
And I kind of
but
feel
they
that
don't
way.
want you conquering it or having an issue, so they'll pin you up against the courts.
Okay. But I mean, to direct that energy.
Here you go. I got to override you.
Okay.
I got a cousin, Muslim.
Muslim.
I don't celebrate no white Christmas.
I keep telling you, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Muslim, that all these things is all connected. South Africa, all these things is all connected. They're like relatives. They got their 40 acres and a mule. They did their loyalty with the British. They did their deals because they all worked together in their back skirts and over on the side of the top area and tried to cave in. So even though he's saying, pretending he's like some southern person, you know he's more representing the aboriginals, which is, you know, ab means away. So aboriginal means away from the original people. When you start to get to Mexico, that the Mayapins, the Mayas, whatever you want to call them, when you start to get to Mexico, in the middle of Mexico towards South America, I've lost my train of thought exactly where I was going with that, but yeah, well, anyway, when you go that way, you kind of, it's like you're going away from the original people. And as I showed you in that documentary, which I could try to start getting links, but I get through so many different documentaries, it'd be impossible to try to get all these links, and I'm not even on my computer, I'm on my phone. But yeah, the documentary about the takeover of the Mexicans, the Toltecan people, they already said that there was original people there, which is like the native Indians before the Chinese, Mongol, whoever, the Eskimo, the people. And they're gonna, Bill Cosby's gonna show you a picture, because Bill Cosby was doing the same thing as Dick Gregory, giving truth about history, about all history and all black people, or not black people, but he's gonna tell you black and color and all colors. He's gonna explain. Anyway, yeah, so Aboriginals is away from the original people. We're talking about the indigenous on Turtle Island, America, Earth, and we'll get to that as well. And this is what he's trying to explain to you as far as the dinosaur and the turtle being here and the butterfly. So we're going to get to all of that anyway.
I said, brother, let me tell you, anytime you're in America and Christmas fall on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, your bank closed, you celebrate. Okay, this is a game we play.
Right.
And you see, I said we play. He's a part of it.
And right behind him is a white Jesus. I go to the Muslim church and I see my brother Elijah Muhammad, and right behind him is a white boy named Farad. I see the same thing. Is that scary?
That's for them.
I see the same.
Because they're not admitting to who the Father is, which is clear. The people they erased and replaced and ignore.
I like David. King David. Now, what I'm telling you now is not in Hustler magazine, it's in the Bible. David looked across the balcony and saw that man's wife and said for her, listen to that. You really know who we are. Is there is a God that said before I, your God, sit back and watch you reduce the dignity that I gave you for some white folks who you can get your rent paid and your hair taken care of. I will destroy you from the inside. And we are.
Sellouts.
So where are we headed?
Heaven. It's over. It's over. You don't understand that because you got that mentality. You're not connected to that universal God.
Okay. You don't get it because you're not connected to the universal God. And that's what I'm trying to explain. Y'all go all over the place, but, you know, the facts are the facts. Now, we're going to get to... I'm going to try to wrap it up now. I just wanted to get a continuation of the history lessons because Dick Gregory plays a big part of where we stem off of as far as these conspiracies of them playing fake roles and wearing masks and all that. And he's bringing truth. Now I'm going to explain to you why Dick Gregory is bringing truth as Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is playing the role of Dick Gregory, in my opinion. I believe they are the same people. If not, then, I mean, let's be honest. Once I show you all the pictures and the side-by-side video, if you cannot see it, if you haven't seen it as of yet, if you're not catching how he slips in and out of Bill's voice, I don't know what to tell you. It happens. You just got to catch it. If you watch the videos directly, you might get a better feel than watching it, you know, through how I have it set up, through a camera. It's probably a little bit more flurrier. If you watch it directly on your TV or device, it'll probably be a better, clearer pickup. But yeah, the reason why Bill Cosby went on under disguise to start playing Dick Gregory and going on this campaign of truth before he passed away, because Dick Gregory has left Earth, and I would say Earth loosely, because what I consider Earth is the certain areas where I will show you. He may be somewhere else outside of Earth where he maybe got deported to, or like I stated, he may be playing the role of Bill Cosby when he went to jail. But I believe the person that went to jail as Bill Cosby was someone else, because Bill Cosby looked like, you know, he just looked weird. He just kept walking like he couldn't walk, like they had to drag him. So you see how skinny he is, Dick Gregory. I don't think Bill ever got that big. I'm going to show you how Bill looked. Bill was always a skinnier physique, just like Dick Gregory. So, you know, just think about how they play these weird roles. On top of that, somebody could be playing Bill with a costume on, and that's why they got to drag it. You know, like he can't see, can't walk, and things like that. Not talking. We never seen him in trial. We didn't see anything. We just seen him walk in court, walk out of court. So, yeah, I don't think that person that was playing the jail person was him. And I don't know what happened with Dick Gregory. And we're going to get to that part too with the timelines, because my timelines never fail. But anyway, the reason why Bill Cosby is playing Dick Gregory is because once I believe if they actually sacrificed his first son, because you know, as I showed you with the Toquitos or whatever, I wish I could say the name right, Toquitos or whatever, down towards Mexico. And also when they came with the Wanderers, they started to practice where it was a great homage to sacrifice like your first son or your family members and things, and have the blood run down the pyramid steps. And it was like ritual. So I don't know if they'll act like they're in so awe that they're family members passed, like Tyson, and I could go on and on of people that has children or any direct loved ones passing without no tears, without no real emotion, just giving statements and bland, like, you know, like, oh, let me heal, but then they'll be out partying or whatever, you know, doing another movie right away or video, who knows what, you know what I'm trying to say. Because like most likely if they are actually dying, they do believe in sacrificing, and it's for the better, it's to feed the sun, it's for them to, because they believe they are the children of the moon and the stars, 3/5 human. That's what the Constitution comes from. The Constitution is not going to change due to the people that lives in the indigenous land. It doesn't hold to a person that's born in the land, it hold to the people outside. So that's where their Constitution is falling in, that, you know, of them trying to have their rights here. So that's why it doesn't really change. It's not for the black people, that there is for the other people that infiltrated the black people, but it turned into the black people. You see how it got, the scam comes in with that 13th Constitution, where we don't, original people don't belong in, but we ended up scooped in. That's like with 14 years a slave, 12 years a slave, was really like where the guy was like, I'm free, but then he got tussled up into it. But he said he was a Dutchman, which means he's probably from the islands, and he got, because he was going all around playing music. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm getting off topic. So Bill probably is doing this truth stuff because of his death of the son. And Dick is going to go into detail of what happened. And he's going to slip up in this video. I've seen plenty of videos of Dick Gregory. I watched a couple since I've been studying this last week. I went through like 10 videos. And he does the same circuit skit. Like 2 hours of the same stories. Every story when he tells the Bill Cosby skit, because he does like Michael Jordan, he goes into JF Kennedy, he goes into a lot of conspiracy, fake deaths, and all kinds of fake pretend things that happen, actor. So he goes into a lot. So if you want to look into it and listen to the old stuff that happened back from like the 1900s and things like that, look into it, because it's been happening. History is doing nothing but repeating itself. Biblical times, that's it. That's all these names are. Soldier Boy, all this stuff. Like, who you think Soldier Boy is? He's representing the soldier, though. The soldier, Buffalo Soldier, Dreadlock Rasta. Like, where, you know, they killed the buffaloes to starve out the Indians. And things of that nature. So that's where these names and all that is coming from. And Dick Gregory is going to go into detail in this specific clip. And this is why I took this of him talking about Bill, because he goes into saying Bill like he always does it on his other clips, saying like Bill and his son. But here he gets really excited. He never gets excited about nobody's story except Bill's story, because it's his story. He knows a lot of details, very specific details about the story, about Bill's story, because he's Bill, in my opinion. But anyway, when he gets really heated about the Bill story in this one, he goes on to say, what, him and my son and I didn't do anything. If you understand what I'm saying. Now, when we catch him into this, I'm going to like pause it so you can understand. He kind of got too emotional into it. Like, yeah, they made me sacrifice. Like, I hear they were mad that, you know, like they resented that, like people that was chosen to sacrifice their children or whatever were upset about it. But, you know, they have to go on with the rituals and the things that they are part of their, you know. So anyway, let's watch Bill vent as Dick Gregory of why he really is going on this venting truth, conspiracy, you know, or everybody's dumb if you believe these people. And then when he dies, we're going to get to that.
Your children, your grandchildren, they feed us that. Dinosaur. What they don't tell you is when the dinosaur was here, so was the turtle, so was the butterfly.
Look at Bill.
2 billion years ago, the turtle,
Bill,
butterfly is still here.
Bill.
God just put that evil,
do y'all see it?
Horrible turtle just. That's how we won the civil rights movement. We took on the mightiest nation in the history of the planet with no gods.
with no gun.
And all we became was turtles. We didn't know it. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and willing to stick your neck out. If you're not willing to do that, you can't be a turtle.
Okay. Did you hear that? Do I have to rewind that?
So,
the turtle, because they went and took on the hardest of everybody around the nation, because they hard on the outside, soft on the inside, and they stick their neck out. And if you ain't doing that, you better get the fuck, you get the F out of here.
Come out of the hotel and get me a case of whiskey, and me and those state troopers drank every night. A brother who was white, folks thought was white.
Now you see he keeps wiping his mouth. Now we're going to try to zoom into his mouth.
But they thought he was white, so he came to see me with this look. I said, what's happening, man? Where was he?
Now he's talking about a black man that they said that they thought he was white. I've already explained to you.
White, so he came to see me with this look. I said, what's happening, man? I live in a black neighborhood, children go to black schools. But they thought he was white, so he came to see me with this look. I said, what's happening, man? Where was he? I just sleeping there. Tomorrow. They got 300 white folks that came in from all over the South gonna kill them. And our job is to rope off the press. The press.
Now I'm trying to get to the part where I was zooming in on his mouth.
So now we get there. Old black folks, young black folks, old men singing. Glory, glory, hallelujah. My eyes have seen the glory. We get to the corner and they rope off the press.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some more current events. Bill Cosby. What's going on with him? The scandal. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it?
No, you think I would sit here if I would tell you I believe it? I would tell you I don't know you that well. But I know it's a trick.
Look at his
You've
mouth.
been here long enough, no athlete can do anything
Look at that white stuff in his mouth. You guys see that? Like his top lip totally disappears. It seems that's why he has the grease all the time. Because this whole fake getup that he's gluing, I guess it's like a cheap getup. He probably is quick to do the outfit and the look. So, you know, the mouth, if you could see, is going to be like a white crest. Now, I don't know if old people get that naturally, but it just seems like it's not in the right place. If he's getting that white line inside the mouth, it seems like this is like literally on top of his lip. So you can clearly see that this is probably like a gluing situation. You can see Bill Cosby, all his dots that he has is kind of showing, because this is like a layer. You don't understand that it kind of goes into the face. And they have probably the real face. You can see this eye, and around the eyes, you could kind of see where it's fake at. I mean, if you guys don't have the eyes for it, I don't know what to tell you. But you can clearly see the stupid dots that Bill Cosby has all over his eyes. And if you can't tell this is Bill by how he talks and all he has done already, I don't know what to tell you.
Big business pay the government $10 billion, but they
and then listen to how he gets excited about telling Bill's story.
don't have to admit
And he brings up Coca-Cola and Dasani. And look what he says about the water.
Dasani, bottled water, Coca-Cola. The largest fine in the history of Europe. They were fined $900 million. Because they take ordinary tap water, purified with benzene and another parts. Nobody knows it. So consequently, let's look at this. Where did they find all these people?
Okay. You heard what he said about Dasani and what they doing with their water. And don't they sell that at McDonald's?
You've been here long enough, no athlete can do anything they want to do, and nothing happens to them. Huh?
Right.
Big business pay the government $10 billion, but they don't have to admit they broke a law.
Okay.
Huh? Okay?
Okay.
Dasani, bottled water, Coca-Cola. The largest fine in the history of Europe. They were fined $900 million Because they take ordinary tap water,
900
purified
million.
with
Sued and the money came right back to them. That's all that means. Money laundering.
and another poison. Nobody goes to jail.
Who that money went to?
And so
Don't they sell it at McDonald's? With your Happy Meal?
where'd they find all these women? They didn't know each other. And when they finally bring the judge in and open up the records, that happened after the 4th of July holiday.
Now, you see?
And they could let him out right.
You see, he went back to the story about Bill. He got upset, blew up Coca-Cola and Dasani, and then went back to his case. Because this is Bill telling it. He said, now I'm going back to my story, / Bill's story. You know, it say that they opened the case. And listen, let him tell.
Before the 4th of July?
Before the 4th of July. So the fact that they opened the case and started to brew up the case right before the 4th of July, and the fact that they let this guy out now right before the 4th of July, show you that this was a whole big ritual, period. He's already explaining it. Dick Gregory went on to pass away, and Bill went on to go to jail, all within the same time frame of the month. And I'm going to show that as well.
The 4th of July.
But listen to the story. Puppets.
They could let him out right before the 4th of July. Bill Cosby.
So where did it come from? It came after all the barbecues and the traffic was back home. Here it is. The judge. Here's what the judge said. Told Bill you should get you some more lawyers. The judge said that. Why?
How do you know that?
The judge said, well, give me a reason why I shouldn't open these up. He said it would embarrass Bill's family, his lawyers, and I. What about the women? Right. Okay? But here's what happened. Bill Cosby was getting ready to buy NBC. White supremacy came in and
Hey, here's how he's saying Bill through the whole time, right? But watch when he gets excited and passionate about it.
well, you see, there's a thing called racist white folks giving them a liberation holiday. That's what Cosby show was. He didn't know it.
And they talk about the spirit British towards like the
You know, that a black person named Huxtable.
South American people.
I'm sorry, I heard.
They try to make their
That
bills.
name don't threaten
Look
white
at the
folks.
colors he got on. Green sweater, blue shirt, red hat.
So when you put this show on,
Green,
come
red,
up
and
with
blue.
facts.
You know what colors that is? Color
White
coded.
folk can't wait to get the Bill Cosby show. So what you think is complaining about? If it was like Bill Cosby, went to school, got a good education, look at your children. Them children be going somewhere on Saturday dressed up. Everybody else is going, rich white folk going to the park. That's what you call a liberation holiday. He's not aware of it. Huh?
So I
That was
say
the game.
he's not
The
aware.
liberation holiday. Okay, so this show here, you put stuff like that, they can't get a liberation holiday.
The ritual. This is what he's saying. That's gonna happen to his son.
It's uncut. It's pure.
Yeah,
Let's go. Continue on.
and so consequently, when the Bill Cosby thing hit, he was negotiating behind NBC. Oh.
See how he's still saying Bill Cosby? Look, I'm sorry I keep talking and y'all missing it. This way he keeps saying Bill, and this is what he does in all his interviews. But in this one, this specific one, he slips up and starts to say him. Now,
When the Bill Cosby thing hit, he was negotiating behind NBC. Oh, that's when he killed his son. And you gotta ask yourself a question.
Bill
White
Cosby,
folks
look,
love Bill
that's what he
Cosby
always
so much.
do.
They had commercials, man, but little white children was riding his back eating tapioca out of his eardrums. Dirty Bill.
White kids loved him so much. They eat every.
How
Listen to
do
this.
they kill my son?
Mm.
And I can't get a commercial.
Payal.
I said Paya because I was watching this Kanika stuff. And I guess this guy that's been on the case for like 15 years, he says Payal. So I was just like, Payal. But anyway, let me rewind that. Did you hear how he got caught up in that?
And I can't. My son. And I can't.
He been saying Bill all this time. What's the point of this?
How do they kill my son? And I can't get a commercial.
And I
no
can't.
more Jell-O commercial. I didn't kill nobody. My son didn't kill nobody.
I didn't kill nobody. My son didn't kill nobody.
There you go.
I know y'all thinking he always during this part he does this whole look at the other videos. He always say Bill's son didn't kill. Now he's saying mine. This is the only video where he does this at, and I think they told him do not do that again, Bill, because you're making it hot, you know. But yeah, let's watch it again.
And his back eating tapioca out of his eardrums.
Like he, Bill, and then out of nowhere.
And so, how do they kill my son? And I can't get a commercial.
Payal.
No more Jell-O commercial. I didn't kill nobody. My son didn't kill nobody.
Payal. There you go.
Now listen to the details.
Got
He
him.
knew something that most folks didn't know. That Mercedes he bought him, they had reboots. They only had them, and anybody can get them now.
Listen to how he telling
If
you.
it's flat, it reboots its own self. It's technology.
Technology.
He knew that. Plus, you know what kind of fool you got to be to want to rob somebody on the highway?
Talk about
That shit ended
his
with
son.
stagecoaches, man. Huh? Cars traveling 30, 40, 50, 70 miles, and you gonna wait out there to rob one?
Did you hear him tell
Then he
him?
gets out and calls a white woman.
You hear this story?
She shows up in a mini skirt, mink coat, and high heel shoes
Oh.
to help him change it flat. What I have to do is push your button and flat change itself. You don't know that.
He said Bill knew
Then
that.
if you look at the police report, I read it all.
He keeps saying he going in and out. No robbery.
It's $6,000 cash.
6.
All his credit card, cell phone. No robbery. And 6 months later, they arrested an American, but he's a Russian immigrant.
An
So
American, but he's a
we
Russian
checked that out.
immigrant.
He was in Mexico that night.
He was in Mexico that night.
Mexico.
You
So
see?
they don't know.
Y'all following
South
this?
America fighting
So
Mexicans
now
as
30 years
usual.
later, they just busted him.
Hannibal.
Huh?
Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress.
And why he's so sensitive with him? It's not his son, right? But you
Man,
see,
how come you ain't heard of it?
he's kind of being
They
sensitive
said him
with him
dead
because
to
he
do the
knows it's
trick.
Bill.
Hey, you ain't heard of him.
Y'all guys gotta
Yeah,
catch
he
up.
did. When we
Catch
checked that
up,
out,
okay?
He was in Mexico that night.
I'm already explaining to y'all what it is.
So they don't know. So now 30 years later, they just
They do
busted
know
him.
all of this. This is all secret. Only people that don't know is black people. And some people that got here by accident
Hannibal
and
Buress.
don't know nothing. They just thought they
Hannibal
got in
Buress.
from what they was.
Look at the sign.
The comedian Hannibal.
Man, how come you ain't heard of it? They sent him there to do the trick. And you ain't heard of him. No more. Huh? It's a game. You never heard of him before? You haven't heard of him, man. Bill Cosby and his wife wake up dead tomorrow. The world's convinced he committed suicide.
And the thing is, they took him to jail instead. And I wouldn't be shocked if he died.
Discovery Channel.
Because he already said what was happening.
Okay? The only thing saved it when Oprah couldn't do it is Harry Perry. Huh?
Bankrupt.
Okay.
Tyler Perry reinventing himself and Will Smith to get them out of bankruptcy. Y'all gotta understand the scams. You gotta catch the scams. Oprah couldn't save them. They had to get Tyler Perry to pop up in the dress.
They're not just
So did y'all follow that? How he told that passionate story about his son passing? He's saying that Bill knew that his son would have been able to change his tire while he's sitting in the car back when he died. You know how long ago his son died? What year that was? I'm gonna show y'all the year where he had that technology at that point. You see what he's trying to expose to y'all? I mean, y'all gotta watch a lot of his videos because he going off. He was pissed off. He wasn't happy about all the sacrifices.
And they arrested a black and an Indian. What's in jail now?
A black and Indian. I just wanted to put that in there as well because, as you can see, it's two different things. The Indians were the Mexicans, like the Tiana, whatever, but they turned into Spaniard, Mexican, you know, all that stuff because of the exposures of the Wanderers, which I believe is the Eskimo Chinese black, you know, because I will show you. We're gonna show you. And also the Spaniards, because there was, I think at some point they fled. Some of them fled, but then they came back at some point. Like, so they had support of the South, you know, all this stuff. You know, we'll have to get into that a later history thing. So we're going to get into Bill and showing you that he did the same exact thing with exposing about the same role, the same scenario. Black comedian activist.
In 1846, invented a vacuum pan that revolutionized the sugar refining industry. Now, you have to dig to find that fact. I mean, it's not much history, but it's still history. Now, what do you stand in? In your shoes. Now, there's just you and your shoes, isn't it? Nope. See, there's a black man standing in your Oxfords with you. Sharing your soul and your heel. There's a man, his name is Jan Ernst Metzeler.
And you saw that black man, American man, black man that he's, oh, excuse me. Saw him? See that picture? Okay. What I'm trying to explain to you how they were looking. The American look that they swear is like a European look. But even though these people were already here, intelligent people, technology, all kinds of things that you swear we didn't do. Bridges, bridges, arching, all that.
1863
was already here.
Metzeler invented a machine that made mass-produced shoes possible. Now you have to dig around for that fact too. And again, it's not much history.
The inventors, technology, all that good stuff. When they came upon us, it was like the new world, like them going to the Jetsons, coming from Stonehenge.
Metzeler invented a machine that made mass-produced shoes possible. Now you have to dig around for that fact too. And again, it's not much history, but it's history.
So here I'm just showing the map that he pulled down really fast. It kind of shows Turtle Island. So I think he did that strategically. But as he's telling you Black history, he literally showing you the same map that I showed you. Let me pause it. And you see how I'm putting my hand up there? Because as I told you, the whole states weren't a part of the original Americas, which is the Turtle Island. And I showed you the mermaid, and the rabbits is Finland, and the dogs is Australia. And I'm going to get to that. I didn't get to that in history. That'll be another part as well, continuation. But as I showed you with the Mississippi River starting from Florida and going all the way up into like the Tree of Life situation, and anything that's born into this indigenous area, which was majority only Black people, and then like maybe some white people we dealt with out in the border areas of sharing. But this is like literally the turtle. You see the head right here, and then the arms stretch out, and then it's the tail, and then it comes around. And I'll get to a better picture probably later, or maybe in a different history channel. But anyway, he pulled the thing down really fast. And I just like to show people that they do things strategically. He's doing a Black history thing, but then he does this really fast. You got to slow things down. Because it's like, bro, you're talking about this. Like, don't speed up. Don't speed that up. But anyway, just something I want to show you guys. Because they like to speed up a lot of good stuff. And they only give you a little bit of information. They don't give you as much information as you should get.
Okay, well, I want to thank you, Jim Backworth. Jim Backworth, out of St. Louis, hunter, trapper, and honorary chief of the Crow tribe of Indians. We had trouble finding you, Jim. Though you helped open the West, you didn't make the books. Chicago, right here, where the Wrigley building is. Young fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste de Sales. Jean-Baptiste, he founded you, Chicago, when he traded with the Indians. And of course,
Chicago. So you already see who Jean-Baptiste is.
Or stinking onion
And why Chicago is so corrupt. Chirac. You already see what they all mixed with. French, Haitian, Dutch, yeah, all that.
You'll find a black man named York helping to
like Egypt, like all in there. Egypt, like it kind of, like, not Egypt, but like, you know, it kind of cross connect African, I think, or something, like in that area. I don't know, they're all related somehow. British, France, black Frenchmen, Dutchmen, islanders, the ones that took them back over.
We never made it to the Hollywood Western. Did you know that? Huh? In the same group, there was one black outlaw. His name was Deadwood Dick, who claimed his soul brothers were Bat Masterson, Billy the Kid, and Jesse James. Deadwood Dick.
Yep, that's the guys that was fighting at the borderlines of Texas, fighting the Mexican, whatever, or whoever they became when they came fighting through in the 400s. 444. That's who they were fighting, the cowboy Mexicans. That's who, at the borderlines of Texas. We didn't have Texas. But then the black men, the men he named, Billy the Kid, that's black men. Wasn't white men. It was the original cowboys fighting them at the borderlines of Texas, the Confederacy, whatever. Yeah, let's continue.
A victim here.
So if you haven't gotten the circle,
bring the bowl that I used to have my pasta serving in. Bring the bowl that I used to get my pasta serving in.
It wasn't like you're eating all the wrong things, you're just eating too much of it, right?
Rigatoni, puttanesca. And then the noodles were here. I wanted it. And I went, it was so nice.
Well, was that when you were doing the Cosby?
To talk to
I just wanted to show you.
My grandfather said, I've never been full.
They like to tell the stories the same. Like they tell the stories.
Bill Cosby grew up in the projects of North Philadelphia, not far from Temple University, where he attended college. And much of his humor comes from those early days. Bill, let's go back to your youth in Philadelphia. What was the dinner table like in the Cosby household when you were 12 years old?
Dinner was at 7. And my mother would come home from work. She's a domestic. And my father would come in, and we would have generally what she had cooked for the Jewish family she worked for. And then there were times
and they still do it. They still work for the Jewish family. You know, babysitting and doing all that for them. These are the deals they made, not us. These are the deals they made. And I already explained who the blue people are and who the red people are. I'm going to show you a picture.
Sometimes you didn't get the whole
pyramid in Mexico of both of the pyramids next to each other because it represents two different groups that comes together there.
No, but it was just wonderful. It was very, very interesting. So by the time whenever I was able to go to a restaurant and eat, I already knew the forks and the knives, and I looked on it. I already knew it, and people.
So he basically saying I already had good experience with like restaurant stuff because the mother would come home with like nice things from the Jewish people, from them working for them and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, but we already know what kind of stuff is going on.
Of course, we have a different point of view
so
today.
Here they go,
considering the
starting to put Bill. They had hired Bill to start giving him the role of the perv and the weirdo, and here we go with some of that scandal of them putting it in the media, setting him up for the arrest that he knew he was going to get. That's why he's playing this role.
Very game. Have on.
It was years before she hit it big on
Modern. You know, she's Colombian, and, South American, British, whatever they are. They all connected. It's all South Americans. So Colombia is in South America. So you see what I'm saying? See the games they're playing where they're saying he's making her uncomfortable.
Of course, we have a different point of view today, considering the numerous allegations.
This is too sexy, I'm leaving.
Anyway, and this also.
Spanish Fly was the thing that all boys from age 11 on up to death, we will still be searching for Spanish Fly. And what was the old story was, if you took a little drop, it was on the head of the pin. I put it in Coca-Cola. It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and she
the head of the pen. This is that. It sounded like he meant something else. And the drink. Did you even, like, come on. So that's setting him up for Bill the Pill. He's saying himself from 11 to death. Like, how thirsty was that? 11? That you're looking for Spanish fly all your life and trying to put it on a tip of what? Sound like he was putting it on the tip of his, but then the guy, Larry King, who passed away, had said no, and in the drink, and he's like, yeah, in the drink. Like, so these people are out of control. Bill is not innocent. Take him back to jail, but he was never in jail.
Spanish fly was the thing.
But he should go back to jail.
Boys, from age 11 on up to death, we will still be searching for Spanish fly. And what was the old story was, if you took a little drop, that it was on the head of the pen. I put it in Coca-Cola. It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and she said, hello, America.
Hello, America? The girl would drink it, Hello, America. You see what they trying to do? I mean, I'm not going to decode that. We're going to keep it moving. And you heard how he said Coca-Cola.
Spanish fly.
And you hear how Larry King says Coca-Cola. He's like, anything. But, these people are weird. And, I mean, if you don't think it's perverted, 11 years old to death, what 11-year-old is messing and doing with what age girl? Okay? So if the boy is 11, I'm pretty sure he's insinuating the female should be somewhat 11 or in that age range as well. So, yeah, perverted. Weird. Definitely something somebody should be saying 5 years before they get accused, or 91, whatever. This is the setup. This is all planned. Look how long they premeditate things, because why would you even do some type of interview like that? I mean, okay. So let's compare these guys.
And then eventually,
and what was the old story was,
last year, this time, we talking about 2014, he was number one. Today, as we sit here, he's number 207.
Now, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you see it. I don't know if you hear it. But this is a quick video I had to throw together today because of the breaking news. And I swear, I don't think people will believe how things turned for how this video turned out. So I just wanted to just put it out right away. So I'm not going to do a lot of comparisons with videos. It's the only one I'm going to do comparing. If you want to look into it, look into it. But trust me, it is definitely there with the voice, their lips, everything, the tight top lip. Only thing, yeah, everything is there. It's just a little bit of a nasty situation going on with the droopiness, and it droops. It's on his face. It's hard to explain, but it's there. And we're gonna just slow-mo it a little bit.
Play for a while. In a worldwide camp, we're gonna pull something in your back.
See how he making that face, Dick Gregory. Like, if I have to slow it down for some people, you see their faces and stuff? Like, I mean, come on. If they're not the same person, what are they? Brothers, half-brother, first cousins, uncle, nephew. What are they? Direct descendants, obviously, right? Something's going on here. Okay, and you already heard the stories. Already showed you how everything lines up. I'm even going to show you their personal life. We're going to show you their personal life. Look at the faces. Look. I'm slowing it down for you guys. Look, they do everything. Look, Dick Gregory just did the face, and look at Bill. He just did the face. Like no. Look at that face, and then look at this face. See what I'm saying? I slow it down, try to help you guys out. And then I'm going to go into the personal life. Obviously, they are a part of the game. Look at Dick Gregory younger. He's been a part of the game for all his life, just like Bill. I think he came on the scene at an adult age, which I believe that's when Bill started to do his alter ego when his son passed away. I believe his son passed away around in the 90s. I'll get to that year. But obviously this character and his role is already into play. And look at what this is looking like. Obviously he's playing in a game. And here he go. It doesn't look as good as when he was younger, but it's still there. Representing the rabbits, Finland, which is England, Netherlands. You know, and I'll show you the rabbit. If you look up Google Finland on a map, you should see the outline of a rabbit. Just like you could Google Turtle Island, you should see the outline of the turtle of the Central Americas, of the southern area going up to the northern area. So yeah, I just put this in there because I thought this is super creepy. Just to let you know they're playing the game and they should not be let out. Don't trust them at all. The fact that he's like gripping her, like, and holding her, like, this is just weird. I mean, she's super young. He's not related. If so, still weird. It's just too much for me, you know, especially since I don't feel like they're related. And even if so, it's still creepy. Just too tightened up. So Bill has been with his wife. I know this is going long, but this is just long because it's connected to history. And they're all, both of them are very historical and activist people. So this is a lot, especially since it's the same role. So I'm just showing all the connections, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna leave a lot out. And I know the commenters is gonna come in and help me out. I appreciate a lot of the commenters from the live. I didn't get to see all those comments. I thought it was just like 1 or 2 people commenting, and it was way more than that. So thank you for commenting, and especially, I believe, Frida. I'm not sure exactly her last name or whatever, but shout out to her. Especially, she gave a lot of great comments that didn't make the page, because I think on live, the comments don't cross over, so they disappear. But I did actually see it before I clicked out when it cut me off. So I got to read some of the comments, and that person commenting had a lot of great comments and points and was right on where I was going. And I'm glad that most of the stuff that I come up with is somewhere on track with other people. So it's not like imaginary. It's like, because obviously I'm getting it from informational indexes anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so Bill Cosby's wife, he's been with Camille for about a long time. And from what I hear, she's a direct relative of the Rockefellers. And as you can hear, the name Rockefeller with the stone and the rock and the back, like the same areas where they're making like the Roman people couldn't even hold up the stone as their rocks were falling because they was trying to emulate the people from Mexico and things like that. So yeah, the Rockefellers, so she's supposed to be related. So you already know what region she's from. She's probably from Mexico, South America area. One of those descendants with mostly all the people they have their handlers are from, or they're all from, and they link them up. They date each other. It's like some noble to make sure that they keep their status where it is because they fought for it. Yeah, so he has a bunch of kids with Camille, So same situation with Dick Gregory. He always talks about his wife the same way Bill talks about Camille. Like, oh, I've been with her for 20 years and they never cheat on him. They've been together. Like, same scenario with his wife and children for 20 years and always saying it like they all in love and he loved them so much. And they kind of look alike as well. And I'm going to do a comparisons for both of these, the wife and the husband. So Dick Gregory, he was born October 12th, which is 11/12, which is kind of, if you put 12 together, is 3. So that's kind of 3/11, which is still information number coding 311. So just to show you that it's still coded. And as you can see, after Dick Gregory was doing about 2-3 years, I don't know how many years he was really doing like the truth thing, exposing. But as you can see, they took him out in 2017. He died August 19th of 2017. So I just wanted to point that out directly because, Bill Cosby ended up going to jail. His trial started June 2017. So this is what I want to continuously point out because I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I could show you a timeline like this, like with Meg Thee Stallion and with Takora, where Takora took a break and did the butterfly thing with Beyonce. Was like, oh, I'm reborn, took a year off, then came back, and that was around the time Meg Thee Stallion came. So you know what I'm trying to say? And it's I did this in numerous videos showing you the same timeline. So it's no different with them, where one goes out, take a hiatus. They did a final hiatus with him because they didn't probably like the exposing character. He was going too far. And as you can see, they took another child out. Before he got out, he sacrificed another child. So you see what I'm trying to say? Okay. So Dick Gregory dies 2017 in August. bill starts in June. So by August, they kill him because he's going to jail. Can you understand that? Is this hard for you to understand? If this is hard for you to understand how I'm breaking it down and how I'm taking this much time out, I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm not going to take this much time out in all my videos when I go over the twinsies, because it should be obvious at this point, especially with all the information I've been trying to gather for you guys as far as history goes and why all this stuff is kind of happening. Like, it's not for like Corona, the core fight V is for like a lot of other political and who's going to be and who's going to get this. And it's like that. It's always been like that. And it's still like that. So anyway, because a lot of these people who have imaginary state and stuff, they don't got no real stake in, you know? So anyway, so they want to keep their fork in there. So if you don't see the resemblance in these two, I don't know what to tell you. I already showed you how they're connected so many ways as far as everything goes. That's their career, their family base. They make it obvious. I think they have to do this. I don't know what kind of code they follow where they have to make it obvious sometimes and blow themselves up. As you can see, they kind of have like a different looking face for some reason, because this is a lot of padding and stuff going on. It's a lot of changing and alterations going on with Dick Gregory. So, yeah, like I stated, I wouldn't be shocked if she's probably playing the role as well, throwing some type of added on chin, and because her chin is already looking a little big, and then it gets a little bit bigger when she adds on her situation. It looked like they had the same weird mask look. If you could go figure, you know, understand what I'm saying, you know, it looked like they had the same kind of mask look to themselves. Okay. Yeah, so I'm wrapping it up. Sorry about how long it took. I just wanted to get all the details I could in here because I don't want to revisit any of these characters. I just want to put them out there and then leave it. So, yeah, I think even at the younger days, they look alike. Just seems like it's like a mask situation going on as usual, but they have like the same eyes and same nose and same lips and same, you know, had the same everything structure. Like you see the little widow's peak and the little willow, like everything is kind of there. You just got to understand that they masking him up. If he's playing a character, an activist role. So I'm not shocked. And those are like DA, CIA. These are agents anyway, so they're used to playing characters. He said in one of his things that he's a shapeshifter, that they shapeshift from South America, these people. So those are your shapeshifters. That's why you see these black men on CNN. That guy that said he was from Harvard with the bald head with the vampire teeth. What he did, they're all from probably the same areas and they could shapeshift. And I don't know what that means. They have to explain all that to you because I'm not really from that culture, but I just know exactly what they're explaining and talking about. So yeah, so Bill Cosby and Dick Gregory are in the same age group. Bill was born in 1937. Dick Gregory was born in 1932, so everything is kind of fitting. They're both like from Pennsylvania / Chicago because of their lineage to the Baptiste and the you know, their lineage, their, I guess, their state, their little, you know, setting up their little shop in their little areas that no one wanted. You know, they learned how to like surround areas that was not useful at the time, I guess, or caving in as much as they could through the coastlines of their areas where it kind of was borderlines everywhere. Yeah, so anyway, as I showed y'all where I began from history, and as you can see where Turtle Island is, if you can see the turtle, I'm not sure if you can see it. It starts from Minnesota and Wisconsin, if you can see this line, and then it goes down to in between Iowa and Illinois, going down to Missouri, and all the way over here where the foot is from Louisiana, going up to the tail. Then you got all the way going down here where the hand goes, and then back to the head. So you have all of this area and most of the surrounding areas of Turtle Island, because this is supposed to be Earth. And I could show you, if you just Google it, it'll explain everything. And don't think I was making things up when I was talking about Mercury. I don't think I really got to that part with Mercury and Venus and Mars. I was trying to get to that part, but as I stated, we're all These are all planned. These areas is different realms. These states, these countries, these like, oh, Europe, they are considered different realms, different worlds. When Aladdin was like a whole new world, they was just talking about Earth. They was just like a whole new world, a brand new, and all that stuff. You know, all these, in the Little Mermaid, like I want to go up there where the people walk in the sun all day, you know, and then the crab was the Jamaican and all that. So this is what they all were talking about, just coming here. You know, Turtle Island is, if you Google it, Native American folklore. All right. So you get it. Turtle Island is named for Earth or North America. Used, and this is where the silver and gold, where they were borrowing from, and this is where they got all their natural resources from. That silk and all that stuff is inhabited to the world, to the earth. All this stuff is synthetic and GMO mostly over there, and that's why their habitat is not well. They're built on like mountains and things, and that's why a lot of their stuff cave in and have all their stuff falling in when they cave in, because there's not livable lands, and they understand that, and they just have to rebuild. The people that have to be there, and a lot of people that don't have to be there leave out and come back. The ones that made their deals and left their people and sold their people out and made them for slaves and all these things like that, and sacrificed and do all these wild things, but they relish in the luxury of their winnings when they got over here and just did what they had to do to steal. And anyway, let's get back to Turtle Island. So Turtle Island is a name for Earth or North America, and I already showed you that Venus and Mercury is the Mars, and Venus is the Venezuela of Amazon, and I believe Mars is most likely somewhere in the desert, where it's Africa and things like that, and that's where they're trying to restore. Or it could possibly be in the back of where the California area is very hot, and they don't let you pass. I believe some, you know, where they say the aliens are, they could be restoring that area. It could be Mars, but it's all in this planet. They're netting. So anyway, I could try to explain that in a different time. So used by some indigenous people in Canada and the United States. These are the black and white people before we get to Russia, and it becomes a little too red and too mixy. That's when the Anglo-Saxons start to mix. And so they saying, because the Russia is too close, and that's when Asia gets all wild. You know, it gets all over the place. Even India goes all the way to India. Asia is considered all of that. And it shows you in here. It will tell you. So anyway, United States as based on common United States as well by some indigenous rights activists. The name is based on common North American indigenous creation story. So that's why, like, some people, like, if you saw, I think it was like a show where they was like, I think it was like, what is it? The Real Housewives, where a long time ago, where Kenya was bothering some lady about her not being married for real. And she was like, oh, we marry common law. Like here, common law marriage matters and things like that. And anyway, you got to look into the common law or BCE over there, where it was before common era. It will make more sense what that actually means. All right. So also Turtle Island says for some indigenous people, Turtle Island refers to the continent of North America. The name comes from various indigenous oral history. So that's why I tell you, give me oral history. Do not read nothing out no scary book. You're scared. I'll take the information just to see what y'all think and what your ideologies are. And I'll dig whatever you stealing and in which I added in for yourselves. And that's all I want to hear from it. But if y'all not giving me no oral stories about any realness of y'all situations, and that's for any group, I don't want to hear it, because oral stories will be the most realist, closest thing you can get to the truth. So anyway, so the oral histories that tell stories, the turtle that hold the world on its back. Artistic, like I said, they're all artistic, artic, this and that, creative people, all of us, all of them, and it's all two different kind of strands. But anyway, interpreting of an island growing atop of a turtle's back. So they say the term Indian, so because they're like American Indians and Native Americans, like, because obviously it's a different, but they are, American Indians are descendants, and they already say that in that documentary about the Aztecs. How they say that their descendants died with the dinosaurs. I don't know why they said that about us. And then they had them books. Maybe because that bomb, and I don't know what happened. They got to explain all that. But, you know, they're descendants. So, but then when they got all the mixture of the Wanderers and the Spaniards, and then the South American Moors and all that, it becomes something else, okay? Because a lot of other things. So, so anyway, so the inhabited So the term Indian, in reference to the original inhabitants of America continent, is said to derive from Christopher Columbus in a 15th century boat person. Some people say the term because he convinced he have arrived in the Indies, Asia. So they like, you see what I'm saying? Where he ended up in. So wherever he ended up in, when you know where he ended up, they consider it the Indies, and that was Asia. His intended destination. Okay, so anyway, so he thought he was going to America, the Turtle Island, but he ended up in the Indies, Asia, which was the islands at the time where most the native Indians and the South American or whatever they were at the time, like a mixture of whatever native Tiana looking people, native Indian ish, because they were in the Indies, Asia area, the tropic Capricorn, where it gets really hot down there past the equator. When you get past Mexico, you're getting past the equator in South America. So anyway, I know that the Egyptians took an L, and this happened because you let this happen. They don't care about these girls doing anything, but they did this because they knew later on they were going to do this. We don't need to see any of this. If they come to dance and sing, what's the point of us seeing them have kissing sex or anything, like any kind of sex? This isn't like a movie or nothing. This is like a family oriented type of situation, like the football. On a football thing, they ripped the tassel off and they blurred it, and that was a big deal because they consider it family oriented. Is BET not considered family oriented as well? Like, I don't get why they would not be concerned about this kind of behavior in something that you understand a family might be watching from various ages, and they will expose something this vulgar, but you didn't say much to this, so they don't want you to, because they knew this is all they really cared about. They don't care about this. They don't care about these females. This is what they want. Look how corny this look. They look all saggy. Look at they oiled up here. They want you to really pay attention to this. They're shining. Okay, they didn't oil them up. Okay. And then as you can see, this whole homage went to Egypt with the black and the mixture of, the races there and what they believe in, allegedly how they are exposing. They had the pyramids in the back. So whether people that listen, these hotel people, it's enough time to go to the right side of, where you should be. Okay, you shouldn't be. If you want to continue to do this, you just gotta understand what it is. They're telling you what it is. They're not making this up. They're literally explaining something, whether you guys like it or not, whether y'all believe it or not. You weren't born during this story they're telling. This is a on and on again story they're telling. So you see why they have these specific people kissing, and why they have these specific people kissing. This is a story they're telling. So if you don't like it, then you have time to say, look, I'm done. I don't really like what y'all used to do. Even if I'm related, I'm connected to this, spiritually, whatever. I'm not going to do this because I didn't know. And even if I'm in denial. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that I know they took an L, the whole tech team. So, yeah, I know this is very uncomfortable for them. So, yeah, and also another L for the same group of people. This is probably the wanderer that ran down on the Toltecs, the Native Indians, to mess them up and make them Mexicans. This is probably one of them, the Eskimo that didn't get out far enough to get to the supergroup food, So they were smaller, eyes were too small, runts. And, they come over and found their way past and finally got to some greenery and where the some of our people were, descendants of, cousins or whatever. And these are the people that ran down on them. Okay. And I just want to end it off with a couple more conspiracies of these people are not related. Okay. You take a real good look. If you got really good eyes, you'll see these are completely 3 different children. Okay. You'll see that these are 3 completely different kids. They're not belonging to anybody. And then they put this in black and white for a reason. They're hiding a lot. You know what black and white pictures is for. Why wouldn't you want to show the colors? She started growing into, they couldn't color it. They didn't fix them up good enough. And even clear as day. Different kids. Different children. Take a good look. If you can't tell, then too bad. It's clear as day. Chloe is not, you know, look at her eyes, look at everything. Look at their eyes, look at her eyes. Look at this. It's a complete different mix. Chloe, they're all different. Okay? And we're gonna end it with a lot of these YouTubers' favorites, these weird YouTubers. Don't want to talk about their names anymore because it's obvious that they're part of the same groups that I'm talking about with the blue and the red and things like that nature. These people, this is the group that I'm talking about where he's saying they came up with 5 little ships. How could they beat the biggest navy? Because it's a lie. They didn't come over here beating no biggest navy like he told you. And this is the 1400s. But you know, if you take the one off, like I'm telling y'all, and you add the one, if you do, because they're doing like a scientific math method where if you got 0 and then you go 1 to 100 this way and 1 to 100 this way. This is how they were doing because we're in different time zones. So it's a mirroring. So that's where they're going backwards, probably 1,000 from here. And we're already up this way. So we'll meet in the middle and we'll be at year 400 going in. But if they want to add the one there, fine. 1400, but like I said, the year 444 things started percolating for them, and then they went on to doing a lot more throughout this whole time of conquering for like 300 to 400 years, and then they went on to have contracts for 300 to 400 years, and now they're up as of last year. But they are for some reason, I don't know what they're doing, I don't know how it works. Anyway, so as you can see, this is like Portugal, Spain, and all that stuff. I don't know exactly which countries it is without the labels, but you already know this is like Africa and Europe and Netherlands and, you know, all that stuff. So you see where the red and the blue is literally right tight. And they literally come over here as well in Mexico and in South America. They come together. And they all harass, you know, so as you can see. So, and then we're going to sit there and show you the YouTuber's favorite conspiracy. Like, this guy is an actor. These people are not here to save you at all. Not even close. None of them are here to save you. None of them. They're here to keep you watching them, sitting on your butt, and believing that somebody's going to save you so you don't do nothing. You just sit there and do nothing.
30 minutes before he was shot. The question, New York Times, Washington Post, the punks, the question is, how did E. Harvey Oswald know 6 weeks before he was shot to get a job there? Because the limousine was coming down Elm Street. Now, y'all should just cut your TV off, cut your radio off.
Yes.
Huh? How did he know that? And then we got all these people we paying to protect him.
So just the fact that JFK turned down the wrong street and he didn't freak out, I would have already been ducking or something. He was just playing it cool when they just turned it after they was giving him a bunny and roses. You would think you would have been uncomfortable when they made a turn on the wrong street. On top of that, this wrong street that they're turning on that you shouldn't have been going down is called Elm Street. Like the Elm Nemo, you know what I'm saying, the Elohim. You see, and you already know what John F. Kennedy is. He's a part of the 12 tribes. So the Elohim, he's going down Elm Street and he has his tragic death. So I don't know how they're doing this, but you see it's a scam. And he's going to tell you it's a scam and then they're going to go through a lot. If you want to see the full information that he gives out, you should check all his videos out because he goes on and on. Check like a couple of them out because he does a lot of the same. But, you know, you'll get enough information.
President. Huh? Oh, Mr. President. Oh. And then you had 3 tramps that was arrested after the shot was fired. E. Howard Hunt, CIA agent. Raul, Cuban, working with the government. And the third one, code name. So Frank Sturgis was the Cuban. Raul was the third one. The white boy that played in the movie White Man Can't Jump.
Woody Harrelson.
Well, that's his daddy.
Hello.
That's his daddy.
Hello. White men can jump. I told you, we're watching their children. These are all they're all descendants, and they have plenty of people that plays the role, and it's part of these communities, and they give anybody that's like a part of like these groups, these 5% or whatever groups, they are being funded by the government and things like that. So they have to preach certain stuff and stick to certain scripts. So when you watching these people and they have to keep telling you, and then a lot of these pages and stuff, they getting taken down because it's over. Most of the rituals are over. The 4th of July is coming up. I believe they probably already figured out what they're going to be doing. The deep state is not really what y'all think it is. It's like the second government in commandment. So if something happens with the first government, they call on to the deep state to come in and take over government. So this is what's happening. It's like 2 different administrations into play because they believe the first administration, they are calling something which will call the deep state to play into having 2 different administrations. I got like some information on that. I would have to show you to go into more detail on how that works. On the deep state is not really what they're stating. Like, oh, these are bad. Like, they're all bad people. And they're all the same governments. They're just trying to keep each other in check. But anyway.
I don't understand this.
Booked him.
You won't be on TV. That's not your parents in these history books.
Didn't fingerprint him.
Yeah, so Woody Harrelson's father, a couple of people got locked up, CNI agents. This is all fake. This is all a played out. All the players had their role, so it could be real people in the crowd, but every player knew their role. That's all that matters. As long as everybody knows their role, they do this for a living. They know how to do this. Christ are actors. They call them out from these countries, Finland, Netherlands. They call them out from all these countries, Cuba. They like the Nipsey Hussle. You saw them people that looked like they were immigrants taken from a bus. Like, oh, Nipsey died. They didn't know who Nipsey were. They know who they're from different countries. Paying them. And then other people that's a part of communities and things. They know their parts. So now let him explain to you the guy that shot Kennedy. He's going to explain to you how they Photoshop it even back then.
Backwards, there it is, right there. That's the shadow of the body. And the nose shadow coming forward. Now, if you look at the neck, you see the neck is dubbed on the body. Look at the body. The neck don't fit.
So this guy, he's basically saying the guy stood for a pose. He's basically saying the guy stood for a pose. Some whole different person, most likely with the gun, did all this pose. Like this guy was doing this pose to present a narrative, and then just posted this guy's head on that narrative. And they've been doing this since then. And they didn't do such a clean job, so they put some paper on top of his neck.
Couldn't see it. I mean, the neck don't fit. They put a newspaper up there so you couldn't see it. The neck don't fit.
That's why Bill landed in jail, and this character had to get killed off.
Talking about he going to jail, Hillary. What you gonna do? You lock them all up.
Okay.
So again.
So don't listen to these people.
You know, this country.
They helping you because that's what they do. They need to have that stuff for them. Not this is for American, real American. This is for the people that the fake American. You know. Watch, it's the same situation that always happens.
Somewhere. Thank you. Universal God. All the lies. I look at Martin King. Martin King. The greatest humans that ever lived on the planet. King didn't die on the balcony of the Lorraine Hotel. King was still alive.
Now he's praising King only because, and this is all conspiracy too. You already know that he, whether they killed King or not, and you already know how he died. It was like a weird situation where they were pointing and taking pictures, and there was no blood and all that stuff. So he's only praising King because obviously, if you look at King Martin Luther King, and he changed his name to Martin Luther King, it wasn't his original name. Because he was a part of the group. He was a part of the Brotherhood. He was part of that, whatever group that they are part of, whatever. So anyway, that's all I wanted to really show you. I got everything that I wanted to get in there. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. try your best to cancel them. I didn't even watch the BET Awards. As you can see, I took that clip from the Shade Room. I saw enough from the Shade Room where I didn't even need to watch. I don't want to watch none of that stuff. I don't barely watch any of these shows. I just catch little things here and there. Like I already said, like probably 3 shows at that. So if you could try to cancel these people and not deal with them, because they all playing a game. If you're related or you feel like, even if you understand what they're doing to their own people, and you still feel like, so what, these are my people, whatever, or you're a part, like, fine. That's the time. I'm not mad at anything. I'm just putting out information, because it's not something that I'm really like, oh, you know, I have an idea on what to do. Like, I don't know exactly what's going on. I just know that most of the stuff that I'm telling you is something that I know. And I thought a lot of people, you know, was aware, but it seems like a lot of people are not aware. And I don't see why, because it's very easy to tell a lot of these coded situations because they give themselves out. I don't know if they have to or not. So, yeah, like, share, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of you guys' night.